Hello, welcome to SuperHR Payroll System by the Mavericks.
Hi, my name is Rita Kansima. I implemented the logout feature of the system, manage employee information feature, and employee leave application feature. I also contributed to project planning, the database design, and diagrams for the project.
Hi, I'm Tarak Ahmed. I participated in maintaining the GitHub and I implemented 3 features in the project, which are registration of the employees, access employee profile, and generate salary.
Hi, I'm Melanie Kung. I implemented the features login, access employer profile, and accept or reject leave forms, and I was in charge.
As a team, the 3 most interesting use cases we decided on were employee leave application, accept reject leave application, and generate salary. Once an employee logs into the system, if they'd like to apply for leave, they click the leave application form. Here they can enter the start date for the leave, end date for the leave, what kind of leave it is, and the reason for the leave. Once the leave is submitted, it will appear in the list of leaves where you can see previously submitted leaves that are pending, those that have been rejected or approved. One thing I would like to have changed about this feature or improved about this feature was the presentation of my leaves. I would have liked to have the leave applications presented like inbox mail.
As an admin, once they log into the admin profile, they can see this leave form button, which will indicate the number of pending leave forms that they have. And here, there's the list of all of the pending leave forms, which they can choose to either approve or reject. And then below it, we have all of the accepted leave forms and all of the rejected leave forms, including the ones that we've just added. Something I would like to improve about this would be to include the employee name, but since our database is kind of flawed, it was hard to do that, and I wasn't able to implement it for this iteration.
I'd like to present the use case generate salary as I faced most challenges while doing this feature. This feature involves both employers and employees. Employers can see pending payment list after they logged in here. Once they're logged in, they will be able to see the payment pending details of the employees. While building this feature, having the pay information in a single table and the status either paid or not paid was the most challenging thing for me. So to overcome that, I have to program it in a way that when the employer clicks on the pay, then it will create a new payment record for the next payment cycle with paid status as false. The employees will be able to see all of their last payments.
For project planning and issues, we used Kanban board and GitHub. It was used this for task list scheduling mainly. Once we started an iteration, we selected all the tasks we had to do. This included feature tasks and database tasks, diagram tasks, any task we had to do. Once each team member started a task, they moved it to in progress. Once we were done with that, we had it in testing. And then once you finished that and closed the issue, you moved it to done. You can currently see as we've reached the last part of a project, we currently have all our features and done. We use the backlog as a way to tick off each task we completed and keep track of what we're doing. We also have future tasks we'd like to implement if we had more time to. one of the ways we used this was mainly for task list and project scheduling. Would we use something similar again? I'd say yes, but not for keeping track of issues. One other tool, we found it faster and easier to communicate directly using through chat about issues we're having, as compared to documenting issues here on the Kanban board. What worked? The project planning and task assigning worked perfectly with the Kanban board. Issue tracking didn't work.
For testing and tooling, we used Eclipse as our IDE, GitHub, H2 database, Spring Boot, Discord, Renomatic, and Selenium for black box testing. Here we have our tests. We'll start off with the unit test. We have the unit test the entities and the methods within each entity. We have one that tests the job class, the pay class, and the user class. As we can see, all the tests has passed. We'll move on to the system tests. The system test tests the our DAO implementation. And here's the results. Next, we have our integration test, which tests the interaction between two tables. We have one for our job and user table, and one that tests the interaction between the user and pay table. And they've all passed. Next, we will do our black box testing. We'll start off with the accept and reject leave application. This also passed. I will restart our server for our next two tests. Next, we are running the black box test for the employee leave application feature. The results. And lastly, the generate salary feature. And the results.
As a group, Mavericks dynamics was so well. Everyone pulled their own weight efficiently and also helped each other to solve their problems as well. We decided to give Peter a weight of 4 because she spent a lot of time in managing Kanban board, and she designed our initial database and also did the use case diagram. I tried to help the team regarding maintaining GitHub and Git issues, finding coding solutions, and my team was generous to give me 3 points. Melanie got 3 points because she did participated in code and helped a lot making videos, presentation, and documentation. and also helped in managing Scrum meeting notes.
We're working in groups. Our team name is Mavericks. We have Rita, Tarek, and Melanie. For working in groups, our group worked really well together because we each have our own strengths and weaknesses, so that it was helpful to the other team members. When one of us didn't understand something, it was really easy to just ask each other, and someone in our group would always know the answers to it. The only problem we had was none of us were really good at designing database, which caused some problems in our future iterations where we had to go back and fix our database. As for whether or not we wanted a larger or smaller group, I personally thought that working in 3 was great. What about you guys? What did you guys think about the group size?
I agree with Melanie. 3 is kind of the perfect number to work with in a group.
Was there anything that you guys thought worked well and what didn't?
What worked was a group dynamic worked perfectly together. Like I think we each learned it was beneficial for us. What didn't work was most of us were just proficient at database design. No one was kind of more technical with that, so it kind of got hard for us in that bit.
For lessons learned, 3 principles that helped our group solidify were inception, elaboration, and requirements management. For inceptions, we found that the project proposal and Kanban board helped a lot to understand the problem before we started to proceed with it. For elaboration, we used a lot of visualizations, like drawing out what we wanted our final outcome to look for that iteration before approaching it, to get a clear picture and make sure that all 3 of us were on the same page. As for requirements management, the iterations kept us on time, on track, and Kanban board was used to track requirements, and then the feedbacks from our professor helped changing requirements as the project proceeded.
3 things that we narrowed down that we learned during the group project about teams and software engineering process are that using Scrum meetings is an efficient way to keep the team at the same pace and project process intact. Delivering requirements in the form of sprints is a good way to always get feedback and improve the software, and requirements will always change, and the team should be ready to adapt to the requirements change.
Some challenges that we found as a group were the lack of physical interaction due to the online learning. It would have been easier to see each other face to face, to work on this together face to face, because it would help when we need, well, it would be useful when we need help from each other, as opposed to working on Discord. The duration for each iteration seemed kind of short, but it was manageable. And one of our team members had a fear of public speaking, so this presentation and the video recordings kind of made him uncomfortable, but he's doing his best. A course improvement I have is that I feel that the course that was delivered this semester seemed more suitable for in-person teaching instead of online teaching, so I find that the course could have been structured a little differently for online teaching. And advice I have for the future students is to read and reread your instructions very carefully.
For improvement, I would prefer to learn Spring Boot first because in Spring MVC we had so much trouble in setting up the project rather than code logics. And for advice, I'd say don't wait until the last day, better start immediately.
I'd suggest to improve the course, split the course into 2. There's a lot to cover, and this semester a lot of information ended up having to be self-taught. For incoming students, I'd advise them to come ready to learn a lot, but put in double the work.
Thank you.